You a Trump supporter?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Do you disagree with the prompt?
Yes.
Okay. Do you want me to explain why I agree, or do you want to explain why you disagree?
You explain why you agree.
Okay, because I think Donald Trump has made multiple comments that are against the Constitution, and I think that he led an insurrection. So I think that that is the definition of authoritarian, trying to hold on to power that was not democratically elected to you, and then trying to expand that presidential power beyond what it's understood to be.
Wait, so say the last part again?
I think trying to make yourself the president again, despite the democratic will of the people, and then expanding the presidential power is something that is authoritarian.
I mean, we've had presidents go past 8 years before, right?
Yeah, when that was allowed. But we had
And
an
why was
amendment.
that?
We passed an amendment to disallow it, and Donald Trump. Wait, hold on. Sorry, I'm going down the wrong road. We're not talking about the problem. Isn't him serving 2 terms? The problem is that he tried to overturn the results of the 2020 election illegally.
Oh yeah. And in my opinion, at some point he should have just conceded it, like he has already conceded it. But I would like to point out that you probably say he's committed treason, right? He's a traitor.
I'd have to look into specifically what treason entails, but I mean, I'd call him an insurrectionist, if that helps.
And what in the Declaration of Independence, what does it say that Americans are allowed to do if they feel that their government is not doing what they want it to do?
Okay, so what you're going to argue to me right now is that he did engage in insurrection, but it was based because the government was like stepping on him.
If you're like, the government works for the people, or where it should be, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so why was Donald Trump trying to subvert the will of the people in 2020?
I'd like to argue that there was some evidence, and I believe they were doing what George Washington, John Adams, and everyone else were doing.
So he is completely fine to engage in insurrection because he had a hunch that the election was stolen from him.
I mean, if you believe that there are some wrongdoings in your government, doesn't it say, what does it say in the Declaration of Independence?
I don't have the quote on me. You can read it if you want to.
So let me get the official.
But the problem is that it doesn't, like, whenever we're talking... First of all, the Declaration of Independence, I might be wrong. I'm pretty sure that's not a governing document, first of all. Second of all, you're not going to argue that he's not an insurrectionist. You're just going to say that it was based because he felt like the election was stolen from him, which is just not like a cogent argument. Like, no one's ever going to agree with that.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what he thought. It wasn't stolen from him.
And no body, even outside of the government, no body found that it was.
Yeah. Also, it's not a governing document.
Yeah, I was pretty sure about that. Because if it was a governing document, then the Constitution wouldn't have that one article that says that insurrectionists can't run for office. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if the claim is that insurrection is actually legal or if it's just like based, or because like I'm not going to come out and say that insurrection is never justified because I'm an American. Obviously, I'm going to say that insurrection is justified sometimes, but Donald Trump's wasn't. That's it.
This one.
Okay, give me 1 second. We hold these to secure these rights. Governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from consent and governed. That whether any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish, to institute a new government, laying its foundation. So, before we move on, we have to acknowledge what you're saying is that Donald Trump did engage in insurrection, but he was right to do it, right?
I would say yes.
Okay. So you understand that the grounds by which Donald Trump was engaging in insurrection was that the election was stolen from him, right?
Yes.
You realize that no one has ever proven that claim.
I would say there's some evidence, and I forgot what their name is. There was a group of people that actually had a case that almost went before the Supreme Court. You know that, right?
Yeah, almost going before the Supreme Court doesn't mean anything. Was the
Well,
case
no,
in their
but-
favor?